Have you ever really stopped to think about why a certain animal or plant lives exactly where it does? Why isn't a polar bear found in the desert or a cactus in the Arctic? It seems obvious, but the reasons why are part of one of the biggest, most fascinating stories in all of biology. So, to figure this out, let's start small. I mean, really small. Picture this, you've shrunk down, and you're standing on one single glistening leaf deep inside a rainforest. And for our main character today, a tiny little frog, this leaf isn't just a leaf. It's an entire world. It's home.
But why this leaf? Seriously, out of all the leaves and all the forests on the entire planet, why here? It's not a coincidence. There are these invisible rules, these deep natural laws that decided this exact spot was the perfect address. And that's our mystery for today. What are those rules?
Okay, so let's get into it. Our investigation is going to start at the ground level, looking at the world through the eyes of our one single frog. What does it actually need to make a home?
This brings us to a field with a bit of a fancy name, organismal ecology. But all it really means is looking at the one-on-one relationship between a single creature and its world. You know, what challenges does it face every day, and how is it perfectly equipped to handle them?
So think of our frog as having a checklist for its dream home, and these are the absolute non-negotiables. It needs the temperature to be just right, not too hot, not too cold. It needs enough water to keep its skin moist, but it goes deeper than that. Even things like sunlight matter, because that sunlight feeds the plants, which feed the insects, which, well, that's the frog's dinner. The whole system is connected. If even one of these items isn't checked off, this address just doesn't work.
All right, so finding the right physical real estate is just step one. Now our frog has to deal with the neighbors. And believe me, in a rainforest, you've got a lot of neighbors.
Yeah, no creature is an island, right? It's living in this bustling, chaotic, and sometimes pretty dangerous neighborhood. It's a whole community. Some neighbors are a potential meal, others are trying to eat the same meal as you, and some neighbors are trying to eat you. It's a complicated social network out there. And this is the next level of our mystery. It's called community ecology. This is where we study the drama of the neighborhood, all the competition, the predators, the prey, all those intricate interactions that decide who gets to stay and who has to go. So, we've looked at our frog, we've met the neighbors. To really solve this thing, we need to pull the camera back, way back. We're going to zoom out and look at the entire map of life. And this is where it all clicks into place. It's like a set of Russian nesting dolls. You start with one individual, our frog. That's the organism. A whole bunch of those frogs together, that's a population. Now add in all the other living things, the bugs, the birds, the trees. Suddenly you've got a community. Then you factor in the non-living stuff like the water, the rocks, the soil, and boom, you have an ecosystem. And when you see how all those different ecosystems connect across a region, that's a landscape. And the whole shebang, all of it together, that's the biosphere, our entire living world. Each layer builds on the last.
Now, before we go any further, let's just quickly clear something up that trips a lot of people up: the difference between weather and climate. It's actually pretty simple. Think of it like this. The weather is the outfit you decide to wear today. Climate is your entire wardrobe. Weather is what's happening outside right now, but climate is the long-term pattern that tells you what kind of clothes you even need to own in the first place. And that pattern is a massive clue in our mystery.
So what is it that drives these big long-term patterns? What is the engine that decides where a rainforest can thrive and where a desert has to be? Well, the answer is way bigger than you might think.
Okay, get this. The ultimate reason our little frog lives on that specific leaf isn't actually found on the ground. It's not even in our atmosphere. The master control switch for the whole system is in space. It all comes down to the tilt of our planet. Yep, that's the magic number, 23.5 degrees. That slight, constant lean is the reason for everything. It's why we have seasons. It's why the sun's energy hits the equator like a sledgehammer and just glances off the poles. This one simple fact about our planet is the starting point for nearly every climate pattern on Earth. It's absolutely wild. And that difference in sunlight sets up these giant planet-sized conveyor belts made of air. So let's follow the journey. The intense sun at the equator heats up the air, which makes it rise. As that warm, wet air goes up, it cools off and just dumps all of its moisture. And that's how you get the tropical rainforests where our frog lives. But now you have all this cool, dry air high up, and it gets pushed away toward the poles. Eventually, it has to come back down, right? And it does, right around 30 degrees latitude. But now it has no moisture left. So this sinking, dry hair is literally what creates the world's great deserts. It's this beautiful, powerful global engine.
So we have this incredible global engine that's been shaping life for millions of years. But what happens when that engine starts to change? What happens when the fundamental rules of the game start getting rewritten right in the middle of the match?
That really is the central conflict of our time. As our planet warms up, those invisible lines on the map that define where things can live are being redrawn. And all the characters in our story, the frogs, the trees, the insects, they're being forced to pack up and try to find a new address. They're becoming climate refugees.
Let's just take one example, the American beech tree. Obviously, trees aren't known for being fast movers. But as its home gets warmer, its ideal address is shifting north. This chart is incredible. That first bar shows where it can live today. That second bar shows where scientists think it'll need to live by 2100 under a pretty serious warming scenario. The entire species is on the move in a slow-motion migration.
And this is happening everywhere. It's like a great reshuffling of life on Earth. Species are pushing toward the poles, they're climbing up mountainsides, anywhere to find cooler temperatures. The delicate timing of things like when flowers bloom or when birds migrate is all getting messed up. And the really scary part? It's not just about one species. When the beech trees move, what about all the insects and birds that depend on them? For so many, the climate is simply changing way, way faster than they can possibly move.
So you see, it all connects. The story of that one tiny frog on that one damp leaf is written by the grandest forces imaginable. The 23.5-degree tilt of our planet, the massive currents of our atmosphere, and now by the rapid changes that we ourselves are driving. That right there is what ecology is all about. It's the science of connection.
And that leaves us with a final, really urgent question. As this map of life is being fundamentally redrawn right before our eyes, which of its millions of residents are going to be able to find a new home in time, and who is going to be left behind?